in the full thing that, you see everything.
Okay.
Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
You're good. Welcome back to another episode of Wisco Fanatics. Simon is the mainstay here now on Friday nights. Apparently, 2 weeks ago, yeah, you were here for forever.
It wasn't even supposed to be like this either. I was supposed to be the one that was gone all the time, and
right. So 2 weeks ago, Tyler was busy. Had some stuff to attend to. It was me and you. Last week, I had a massive headache, dude. I didn't want to keep my eyes open at all. I was just laying on the couch. Like, I couldn't sleep, but I was just laying on the couch in the dark. Like, it was, I don't know. It was like a darkness retreat, I guess, Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, boy.
And then, now this week, Tyler's feeling kind of rough. Like, I am shocked that he powered through Wednesday's episode, man. That was a long one. If you saw that, thanks for sticking around. If you didn't go see that, we had a lot of good content. Badgers basketball primer. We talked about Badgers football, Ohio State, Indiana preview, and then we still covered the Bucks. And if you're watching the Bucks game right now, Brook Lopez looks like Brook Lopez, so that's a positive. But tonight is a Packers episode. So tonight we're gonna talk about some topics, some things that happened with the Packers this week, and we're gonna start with Rasul Douglas. So, Simon, what's your opinions on Rasul Douglas?
Yeah, I mean, I think if this season was going a little bit differently, then the Douglas trade would have never happened. Is that fair? I think that's fair to say. And I think a lot of people dogged Gutekunst for making this move. But where we are now and probably where we're headed, because I don't think any of us saw the season going as bad as record-wise as where we're at now. So I think due to that, and let's not forget that Goot picked this guy off a practice squad either. Right. I think that kind of gets lost when we're thinking about Rasul and how well he's played for us, because like Rasul's been a pretty solid defender. We got him for cheap 1 year, gave him a 3-year contract. I mean, he's 29 years old. We're getting a little bit of cap relief, and we're moving up about 50-ish spots in a draft board. So I don't hate Gutekunst for making this move. I kind of questioned it at the beginning because Rasul's basically been our most consistent defender, I think, on defense this year. And I talked about a few weeks ago, I feel like he's been kind of underrated when you're thinking about this year's Packers team and how they're performing. He's been kind of the guy, and so it was a little surprising seeing him move. And Gutekunst came out and said that they weren't looking to move him, but after the Bills lost Tre'Davious White for the year, I think he tore his ACL, if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me on that. They're looking for a little bit of cornerback help, and we're looking probably into next year as a franchise, not this show, looking into next year's draft and finding a way to move up some spots in the draft. So I don't hate Gutekunst for making this move. Looking at it now, I think it's smart. I don't know if you had any extra thoughts on it.
Yeah, so we've been in salary cap hell forever, right?
Yep.
I mean, obviously we were okay with it because we had Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams, and the number that we were looking at when we looked up the salary cap didn't matter because we were looking at the win total, and it was a very high number. I agree with Greg's first comment here. He said Rasul has been amazing this year for you guys. He will fit like a glove in McDermott's heavy zone, and he's a great tackler in space.
Yep.
So they're going to love that in Buffalo. The thing about trading him is you give up a guy, like you said, that's 29 years old. You do get some cap relief for trying to get out of cap hell, like I brought up before. And you're moving forward with this youth movement, which if you're going to go for it, you got to go for it, right? Yeah. You can't half-ass this shit. So we're the youngest team in the NFL to start this year. We just got younger by giving up one of probably our second or third oldest player, maybe our oldest. I haven't looked at the
Bach's the oldest.
He's 34.
He's the oldest. I think he's 31 or 32.
Oh, I thought he was 34. Damn. I was aging him very badly. I really thought
he's still a little younger, but okay. I mean he's older, but like
younger.
He's not. He's in
He
his
should
early
still be in
30s.
his prime, is what you're telling me. Okay.
It might be between him and Preston. And Preston's a little older too.
Yeah, Preston might be. So these are the next two comments from Greg. He said, "You guys got an amazing plethora of draft picks next year. Kudos. You guys can move Bach to the Jets next year for a day 2 pick. That's probably where he's gonna go. They're gonna go get Bakhtiari and they're gonna go get Devontae Adams. That's what's gonna happen in New York next year."
So speaking of like youth movement and stuff, like we're the youngest team in the league this year. We're probably going to be the youngest team in the league next year as well. Because you got to think, Bach's probably out because they're not going to take a $40 million cap hit. Aaron Jones, who's I think 27 or 28, is also probably going to be out. He's going to be a cap casualty, and we're going to eat a lot of dead cap next year.
I'm really not 100% sure on Jones. I'm going to be
They would have to find a way to restructure his contract or like give him a new one with some new money and spread it out. Because he has like his cap hit's kind of gross next year. I think it's 14. If you want to talk for a second, I can look that up.
Yeah, so I'm really not sure on the Jones stuff. I'm just gonna go off of what Greg's talking about with the draft picks here. So that's the thing about this trade, right? So you move up into the 3rd round, then you get all these people, the Packers draft bad in the 3rd round. Okay, listen. We're saving like $5.6 million.
Something like that.
Like I saw. It's 5.6 or 5.55 or something like that. And after that, you're getting a day 3 pick that you could package together with another pick to maybe move up into the 2nd round. Yeah. Or maybe you package the 2nd and 3rd and move up into the 1st round. I don't know what's going to happen, right?
So, interesting. So I might retract my statement on Jones. He has a $17 million cap hit next year. His dead cap's 12. I don't know if that might be enough for them to just drop him.
Yeah.
But Preston might be a cap casualty too. I think I saw. So I mean, that's 3 players that I'm saying possibly might not be with the team next year. I don't think Bakhtiari is going to be there for sure.
No, Bach is.
I think that I don't think there's a way that the Packers either want to keep him because of his injury and the uncertainty and his. I mean, he's $29 million dead cap next year.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, so we're gonna go into next year with probably over 30, maybe more than $40 million in dead cap.
Yeah,
again, and I mean, this is just. I mean, people like to say the salary cap's like a myth or whatever, but this is what you get. Eventually, you're gonna have to pay the piper. And this is what we're doing. The Gutekunst opened the window for about 3 years for us to win a Super Bowl. Didn't happen, and now we're paying the price for it.
Yep, and this is what I tell Lions fans. Greg, if you're still listening, this is what I tell Lions fans. They're like, "Oh, we have all this young talent all over the place." Wait till you get to start paying all those young players. But you're gonna fucking find out how good of a GM you are real quick.
That's why the Lions should really start locking up a lot of these guys too, because that TV deal I think comes in next year. The cap's just gonna boom more. So I know you wanted to finish with this, but I kind of want to go into it since we're already talking about contracts and stuff.
Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. Rashawn Gary's contract's not that bad to me.
No, it's a beautiful contract.
I feel like both sides kind of got what they wanted. The Packers got a young pass rusher who's kind of in his prime right now. And I mean, when you look at where his numbers are, you would probably expect a little bit more. But I mean, I like this contract a lot, especially with where the salary cap's going and where it's headed. And you're starting talking about paying these young pass rushers more. Like, guys are going to surpass Gary's. Gary, to me, is a top 10-ish pass rusher in the league.
He's definitely in the conversation.
Dude, yeah, if you want to argue anywhere from 8 to like 14, I'll probably take your argument. 8 maybe a little bit high too, but anywhere from like 10 to 14, I think I could deal with that. And yeah, moving into where the contracts are going, I feel like we got kind of a deal where Gary, the Packers got a young pass rusher and Gary got a contract coming off an ACL injury where they're kind of still ramping him up. Again, he surpassed his snaps played. Not to spoil whoever had pass rushers or linebackers. I don't know if they were tracking that. Sorry.
I wasn't tracking it. I was
Okay.
losing.
So
That
he
was kind of
did.
your thing.
Yeah. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I know. So he played the most snaps, and it seems like they're really pushing in towards that 80-ish% where they had him the year prior to him getting injured.
Yeah,
I don't know if you had any thoughts on that.
I just think it's a great deal for both sides because one, in the NFL, right? You need a quarterback, and what's the next thing after that? You need a guy to go
Left
get the
tackle.
quarterback.
Oh,
I think the second most important position now is a guy to go get the quarterback, right? You have to
Yeah.
stop the other team's great quarterback because everybody's trying to get one. So, and then after that, that's where the left tackle comes in my opinion, where you need a guy to stop the guy that's trying to stop the guy, right? So
yeah.
it's all a chess game. Okay, so we need this guy, and then we need this guy to stop this guy, and we need this guy to stop this guy from stopping this guy, and then we need this guy to catch passes from this guy. So it just all goes down the line, and when you understand it, you can understand football, and then you can make educated comments where I don't have to call you an idiot. But we're a far ways away from that. The Gary deal, in my opinion, was a great deal because, like you said, he's coming off an ACL injury, right? So there was no guarantee that he was going to get the financial security that he got.
Yep.
So for him to put in the work and prove to the Packers, like, hey man, I'm good. I'm going to keep putting in work. I want to be here. It's a good deal for both sides. It makes Goot look good. It makes Gary look good. It's a great deal. So now, since I brought up Goot, let's talk about some comments he made this week. And again, I'm going to give you the floor, and I'm going to let you take control of this one.
So this is what the internet does to people: is they take a half a quote, and they'll throw it out there to headline an article to make it seem worse than it actually is. It seems like that's what I've seen all over the internet, and I'm gonna paraphrase on what I saw because I don't have it in front of me. On the internet portion, I'll read the actual quote afterwards, but more or less it was Goot saying there's about 10 games left for the evaluation of Love, and then they'll see where they go from there. And a lot of people took that as, oh, he's only given Love 10 games to figure it out, otherwise they're gonna move on. And we don't know that to be the truth anyways. A lot of this stuff, I hate interviews and stuff because a lot of it is just like coach talk and vague answers that don't really amount to anything. And then people write articles about it trying to make a guess at what the person's saying. But Goodkin said, I think he's done a lot of good things. Really like the way he's responded to adversity and how he's led the team, Again, we got to be better as a unit. I would expect that to happen over the next 10 games. And I think we're going to go through some things that we already knew we would go through. We haven't had the results we wanted, but I do like the way the guys are responding to stuff. And to me, it's like the Packers already said what they wanted to say by not giving Jordan Love his 5th-year option, instead giving him a 1-year contract extension with bonuses involved, where if he hits the bonuses, he gets the money. So it's more a possibility for more money, but less guaranteed. And to me, that spoke, everything that I needed to know about where the Packers, how they feel about Love. And they're really just trying to give the Packers organization that maneuverability to give him an evaluation period, more or less, where if he doesn't perform, then it's easy to move on from him, but they don't have to give him a long-term extension or hand out a bunch of guaranteed money that they don't need to hand out. And so the comment to me just doesn't mean a whole lot. I know that was a very long-winded way of saying who gives a shit.
You're fine. You're fine, dude. I want you to put everything out there, and I want you to say things how you're thinking about it, right? Because that's the point of this. For me, I'm going to look at it from a little bit different angle. That was a terrible shot by Damian Lillard, sidebar. But I'm going to look at it from this angle. One, I seen way, and I mean way too many people saying, put in Clifford. And I know we've had this conversation so many times. They took this quote. Oh, my God. And this is why I hate the internet, dude. I'm going to get stressed about it again. Thank God I'm wearing a hat so you can't see a new gray hair popping out of my head. But man, oh
man. At least
man.
You have hair.
Barely. It's either falling out or going gray, dude. It's horrible. People literally took that half quote and they shared it and they said, "Why are you giving him 10 games? He's horrible. Just bench him now." And I'm like, "Oh god. Oh my god." I don't have the time of day to save everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
The comment means nothing. It means nothing. It's nothing. He's going to be our quarterback for the rest of the season.
Yep.
Barring injury. Hope not. I want him to keep getting better. He's going to be our quarterback next year. And that's the window he really has. Now, what he's really talking about is he wants the team to improve over the end of the season, from now to the end of the season, to give the fan base a little bit of hope, right? Because right now there's not a lot. But I don't have a lot of faith in a lot of the fan base, to be completely honest with you. Most of the people I see commenting are just like, those are the people I sit next to at Lambeau.
I just wish people would stop taking things at face value and do a little bit of critical thinking when they spout stuff off.
You're talking about doing critical thinking when people don't even know how to use Google, Simon. Like, really?
We're trying to save people out here, Jake.
We're doing God's work, bro.
We really are.
All right, I'm gonna stop ripping on everybody. That's the mood I'm kind of in today. Yeah, I was an absolute menace at work all day today.
How are you?
Oh, it was bad, dude.
Poor people.
Dude, this guy I work with, Eric Vanderloop, he was like, "Get the hell away from me right now." I was just on everybody's ass today. So I'm just gonna say, Jordan Love's gonna be our quarterback. If you don't like it, get away. Get out now.
Oh, there's you know how many people I've seen that are like, they're like, let's boycott the games. I was like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, that'll show them. That'll show them.
This goes back to my rant last week. Like, we're just fans. Like, what do you think's gonna happen if I guarantee those people are the minority.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, like, people are still going to cheer for the Packers. People are still going to have fun watching football, regardless of how you feel about management or whatever. The best thing you can do is put a smile on your face, root for the Packers, and move on with your life. I'm just here having fun with the analytics and numbers. That's what I love about it.
I can 100% tell the people that were ride or die with the Bucks and the Brewers when they were struggling. I could tell already.
Yeah.
When the Brewers were the worst team in the Major League Baseball, I was still going to games. I went to a lot of games with my dad that year. I brought my nephew to games. And then when the Bucks were the worst team, I talk about this all the time. I went to a lot of games that year. Tickets they were giving them away, dude.
Yeah.
Like, you would just like go buy like a loaf of bread in a store. Oh, Bucks ticket, nice. Like, you literally were just able to just walk in like, oh, can I just go in? Yeah, go in, man. Like $10, go in. I went to a lot of Bucks games that year, but it was awesome, man. I was getting close seats. I went to go see LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh when they were all in their prime in Miami. I mean, those tickets were cheap as hell. I mean, they were still kind of expensive because it was LeBron and Wade, but I went to a lot of games. But I could tell the people that are not built for this. There's a lot of people not built for this sports stuff, man. And if you're an emotional person, I tell you what, sports is going to take you on a hell of a ride. And you got to learn how to manage that.
I think that's the funniest part is, like, how do you not expect things to ever be bad at some point? Like, it's sports. Like, things going to go well sometimes. Things are not going to go well other times.
Right.
I know you have a couple of comments. Go ahead.
Yeah. So let's read Michael's comment here. Question for you guys. Do we have a number one receiver on our roster currently? I truly thought we did before the season, but now I'm second guessing.
I mean, I don't know. I'll let you go first this time.
Yes, we do. I still believe that Christian Watson is a number one guy. Potential. I don't think he's playing like a number one guy. But did we really just forget the first couple of seasons of Davante Adams? Did we really? And I understand that he was with Aaron Rodgers. And yes, that is a big part of the context of this situation. But did we forget what people were saying about Davante? They wanted him cut. They wanted him gone.
They wanted him cut halfway through his second year.
Yeah, because he was having a rough year because Jordan got hurt in the preseason.
Yep.
Like, did we really forget that fast? That was 10 years ago, maybe. 9 or 10 years ago? And then he turns into the best wide receiver. Yeah, so 9 or 8 years ago. So he turns into the best wide receiver in the NFL shortly after that.
Yeah.
I still believe Christian Watson is potential number one. I still believe that Romeo Doubs has had a lot of drops lately. I'm not going to lie to you. And he's supposed to be a hands guy, so he's got to clean that up a little bit.
You know,
But
Romeo's an interesting guy because like he'll have drops, and then that I know it didn't count that 20-yarder from like at the beginning of the game on the first drive where it was called back for Rasheed Walker. Like that was an amazing catch. It's like I
and a
don't
crazy
get
throw.
Yeah. I always hated the number one wide receiver unless it was like blatantly obvious.
Yeah, like
because like Devontae's a number one guy. Yeah. And it's just hard to say because our wide receivers aren't developing as we'd hoped this year.
Yeah.
And, you know, we'll see as the season goes on. I don't have a good answer for that question.
I'll say that if there is one position group that could use a veteran, it is the wide receiver group.
Yeah.
Like D-line, you could teach people how to D-line. You could teach people how to O-line. Like, I'm not trying to, like, discredit those position groups. But, like, a wide receiver, like, you need to understand, like, when to, like, run and, like, sprint into your spot. Like, you need to understand when to sit in the zone. You need to understand, like, the option routes. Like, okay, if they're playing this coverage, I got to go up and out. You know, like, there's just little nuances in the game that, like, you need to understand, and you don't get that unless you have that feel. And I think a veteran would really, really help with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, a vet QB would be a good thing too, especially when Love is like, you know, when he makes a bad throw on a third down, or like he rushes his throw, or he rushes his decision making, or he doesn't come off of a certain read. Like, I agree that a vet quarterback on the sidelines, like a Ryan Fitzpatrick, if he was still playing, like a Fitzpatrick would have been perfect this year because he's been a backup his whole career. He's played for a million teams anyways. He understands every single defense. He's got a little swag about him, got a little confidence about him, so he'd be great on a young team like this.
I love Ryan Fitzpatrick.
He would have been my dream scenario as a backup quarterback. I'm okay with the Sean Clifford decision. I am. I don't think it's a bad thing because, like I said, if you're going to go for the youth movement, you go for the fucking youth movement. But a Ryan Fitzpatrick would have been a perfect option.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that, David. But excuse me. As far as that goes, we do have a show that we have to run, and we're already 22 minutes in. So,
I mean, we're running the show. We just got a little off topic per usual.
Probably run the show here. So we have some stuff to go over here. 3 stars, an underrated performer here. So the first star, I'm going to be reading Bryant's notes. Tyler's going to be reading Tyler's notes. So the first star we have was Preston Smith. Great choice by Bryant. Preston Smith's been really, really good the last couple of weeks. Just got the apple tint, speaking of the devil. You're not that far away from me, buddy. He just commented, got the apple tint. Let's go. Hi, Bryant. I'm reading your notes right now, buddy. So he picked Preston Smith. He said was very disruptive all day. Had 2 sacks. The 2 sacks moving him up to 7th most in Packers history. So just a great day for Preston Smith. He also had that strip sack that kind of gave us a little bit of late life that we weren't able to cash in on, but it is what it is, you know? Yep. So who do you have for second star?
Am I this? Oh, no, okay.
Well, you have Tyler and
sorry. Yeah, that's why I said am I. Well, I meant like, is it me or Tyler? It is me. So second star. Hold on. No, I'm getting confused. Okay. Second star was Elton Jenkins. I think hands down this was the best game of the season for him. He had given up no sacks, no pressures, and I didn't really see any glaring issues in the run game. And that was all on 50-some pass rushing snaps because we decided to throw the ball a lot.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you can do Tyler's notes right away then, buddy?
Yep. Tyler's third star, that was Devondre Campbell. Devondre Campbell led the team in tackles coming off an injury. Good for him. I thought he had a fantastic game overall.
Good for him. Okay. So I had underrated performer this week, and I let everybody go first, even though they were kind of like, oh, you claim your guy, and then we'll pick who's left. And I'm like, nah, that's not how this works. You guys pick your guys.
Yeah.
Get those concrete guys, and then I'll go over it. And really, when I was thinking about it, I feel like he needs some love.
Can I guess?
Yeah,
Because I always like guessing these. Is it offense or defense?
It's offense.
Is it Zach Tom?
No.
No. Okay.
Although that wouldn't have been a bad choice, to be honest with you. The choice that I went with was Jordan Love. And people are just going to get hung up on the interception, which should have been a catch. He literally had two hands on it, and it was on his chest. So the fact that he didn't catch that is ridiculous. People are going to get hung up on the completion percentage, which, if you take into account the drops, I mean, Jordan Love easily could have had 2 touchdowns in this game. The drop by Wicks was criminal. That ball was right in his hands, and he was at the 3-yard line. He was probably backpedaling into the end zone at that point.
Yeah, it would have been close.
I think
at least gave us a first down.
Yeah, I mean, he's what, like 6'2", like he's a pretty good size receiver, so he's got to be two something. But he's like I said, he's a pretty big guy, and Love was hitting him in stride in his hands. So he's probably taking 1.5 steps and diving and probably getting into the end zone. And then that's a completely different ball game. Also, if you take the interception away, it's a completely different ball game, right? So I went with Jordan Love because I think that he actually played a better game than his numbers portrayed. I think this was actually one of his better games, in my opinion. So, next on the docket here, we have – I have to do the banners. I always forget about that.
You're doing great, bud.
I am
you're doing great.
I'm trying my best here. This computer is –
aren't we all?
Is not working. Okay, I want you to go off there. There we go. Okay, so we're going to go over Packers and Vikings recap here, but we're going to go over wide receiver development, which is Bryant's topic. So I'm just going to be reading word for word what Bryant said because I'm not stealing anybody's words. I'm not paraphrasing anything. I am going to say what Bryant has written down. So these are Bryant's thoughts. Not a great showing by any of the wide receivers. Watson and Reed had some opportunities to make big plays and couldn't come away with them. Reed would have had a strong showing, but letting the ball get ripped out of his hands for an interception isn't ideal. No, it's not. Watson needs to work on catching the ball through some contact. The drop by Wicks at the goal line when we had a chance to make it a score game with 7 minutes left in the game was tough. Okay, so I literally just brought up like 2 of those things already. The one where Watson dropped at the end of the game with 2 people on him and the ball hits him in both hands, that's a hard catch, dude.
Yeah.
I don't really blame him for that, although a lot of Packers fans were frustrated just with how the offense has looked over the last couple of weeks, which I have some numbers on that later. And I understand, but that's a hard catch, dude.
Yeah.
Like, do you guys remember playing 500 and having your friends draped all over you? I don't care if the ball hit you in both hands. That shit was hard to catch.
I mean, it was a good toss though. It was right on the money.
It was a good toss.
I actually have a really good number on that.
All right, I'm ready for it. The Reed, again, I think he should have caught it, but that was a freaking amazing play by the Vikings defender there.
Yeah, just a little more strength.
And then the Wicks drop. That's the one that really, I'm not excusing that one. That one, I'm serious, was criminal. That one was criminal. That one hurt. So that being said, the next topic that we have is rookie tight ends. So the next 2 topics are Tyler's. So
okay,
you want to get those notes up?
Yep. Rookie tight ends. Musgrave coming back from. I mean, he had hurt his ankle, so he's kind of playing off a bum ankle. 49 snaps. I thought maybe they would count his drop. PFF didn't count it, but they're. In my opinion, every time I look at like drops and stuff, they're really conservative with the drops and what they count as a drop. So to me, it was a drop, but to PFF, it wasn't. But he's still kind of working on his blocking a little bit. I thought he was okay. I know it doesn't say it in Tyler's notes, but I thought he was okay. He had, I think, 6 pass blocking attempts and 4 run blocking attempts. I thought he looked okay. It's to me, it's and Tyler wrote it here too. Is Kraft again outsnapped DeGuara for the 3rd straight week? It seems like this offense is just done with DeGuara. He's not taking many snaps, and I do like seeing our 3rd round rookie get in there, and he's doing a pretty good job at blocking. And then Sims also played the same amount of snaps as DeGuara. So, I mean, you can pretty much kiss DeGuara by next year. He's not coming back.
That's the one that's kind of like stick the knife in, twist it a little
Yeah.
bit. You know what I mean? The craft is kind of to be expected at this point, right?
Yeah.
But the Sims is like that's bad.
That's bad. Undrafted rookie stolen off of Minnesota's squad.
Right. You got the next one. The next one is pass game distribution.
Okay. Yep. So like we said, LaFleur counted at least 6 drops. PFF had 4. I think there were some very good 50-50 balls that we had opportunities to make plays on, and it just didn't transpire. Dylan was the most reliable receiver with 5 receptions on 5 targets. I thought Dylan did a very good, isn't that sad? Dylan did a very good job, and I don't know if this is, who has running backs?
Running backs is Bryant.
Oh, okay.
Running
we'll see if
game.
you say. Okay. I thought Dylan did a good job in pass protection this week too. There were 7 players targeted with at least 2 receptions. Tyler would like to see more Tucker Kraft getting involved in the passing game. He also said, I'm not asking for 100%, but I want to see our wide receivers win some contested catches. And they were 0 for 7 in opportunities on Sunday. That's what he wrote.
That's fucking horrible.
Yeah.
I'm not disagreeing with it.
It's I thought horrible. You were saying that he stole something you were going to say.
No. I'm just like,
it's fucking horrible, dude. Like I said, I have a good stat about that later. And then route running is just, I don't know, underwhelming. That the throw to Musgrave on the outside for a tight end screen on the outside, I don't know who was at fault there. I don't know if Jordan Love overthrew him or he expected Luke Musgrave to be like a step forward. That was like a clear, like someone messed up, or maybe just the chemistry is not quite there yet. But Musgrave definitely had more yardage to where he could have made another step forward and taken that for, 10 plus yards, possibly. But it's just the finer details that is going to come with these, again, young wide receivers and young players we have on our team. I should say young pass catchers.
We keep tiptoeing about what I really want to say about the offense, but I'm going to hold on to it. Okay. You actually do have the next one as well because it's offensive line, but this is off your own notes, so you can read your own.
Offensive line. I thought, like I said, Jenkins, pretty like I said, best game of the season. I thought Runyon did a pretty solid in pass protection. I didn't particularly care for the run blocking. It's every week in and week out. It just seems like they're bullied in the middle or they miss assignments. I think I can think of like 3 plays where the middle of the line just got blown up, and I forget the name of Minnesota's defensive tackle. 97. He made his way in the backfield just way too easy.
Yeah.
And
he made a couple plays on Sunday.
He did. He had a good game, and not taking anything away from the guy, but he had a good game. And then just running inside the 5-yard line is just like impossible for this team. And last but not least, 4 of the 6 penalties were on the offense were committed by the offensive line.
Yeah,
they had a tough day.
Yeah, it's Sundays are a lot of fun now. I'm glad that they just decided to ruin my day at 12 o'clock. You know, that's the best part. Like they don't like give me time to have a good day. They're just like, oh, Phillips.
You're right.
As you're thinking of.
You don't even get to watch like NFL Red Zone all day and watch Sunday Night Football, and then you just get to go to sleep.
My daughter cry about wanting another cookie or another popsicle, and then immediately I have to watch a shit show for 3 hours. It's amazing. Just kidding. I actually like. It's still one of my favorite things is watching the Packers. Like it's just something that makes me feel good. You know, like I go to work all week and I look forward to Sunday watching the Packers.
Oh, I do too.
It is what it is. So Bryant has run game, so I'm going to read his words again. Running game, non-existent, he says. Dylan had a horrible game trying to run the ball, and I don't know why we continue to trust him in short yardage / goal line situations. He's not wrong about that. I won't lie.
It's just so tough watching it and like it not be his fault sometimes too. Because like I said, there were at least 3 plays I could count where he just got blown up in the backfield, and it's like what can he do there?
Well, let him finish.
Let him cook.
Let Bryant finish here.
Let him
he
cook.
Says goal line situations when Jonah has shown the ability to find holes, which is true. Seems like Dylan just wants to try and slam through people since it's short yardage and it's ineffective. I mean, he's 250 pounds. He's not very nimble. Let's just call it what it is. Dylan did have a decent game catching the ball. I hope Jones is ready to roll because he needs more than 7 carries. Which we can point out a quote from LaFleur today saying, ready to let him loose.
I'll believe it when I see it.
It's time. It was time last week.
It was
time 2 weeks ago.
I'm just saying. I hate it. It's just coach talk until it comes to fruition.
Bro, yeah, I'm sick and tired of all the goddamn coordinators having interviews, dude. This shit is getting ridiculous.
I hate the interviews.
Like Stenovich, dude, like, I'm not going to lie. Like, if I was uneducated, I would have thought he was talking shit about the defense, man. I was like, whoa, bro. You need to chill. The run defense was actually really, really good this week. I'll say that.
They were.
So now we go to the red zone offense, which this is my topic. So I'm just going to take this one real quick. And I know exactly the plays that Bryant is talking about. Yeah. I don't even want to talk about this, dude. Like,
I know, dude. It's so tough.
So, you know what? I'm going off the record. I'm not reading off the notebook this time. When you run the ball, we got so lucky. First of all, our first goal line appearance, we got so lucky because I know it was at the end of the half. We had to kick a field goal anyways. We got so lucky there was an offsides in that field goal. That was lucky.
Oh, the one before half?
Yeah. We got lucky. He got another chance, and it was 5 yards closer. Then the next time, we go down there, and we literally run the ball with A.J. Dillon like 4 times from the 1 yard line. First and goal, second and goal, third and goal. There was a 3rd and 1 from the 1 yard line. There was an offsides. We had another 3rd and 1. We still ran the ball with Dillon. Got stuffed. And then finally we decided to throw a pass to Romeo Doubs, who ended up wide open.
Yep.
I don't understand why you don't mix it up a little bit. And then I'm giving away some of my notes on Jordan Love, but this pisses me off. Every time we got into a goddamn 3rd and 1, or 3rd and long, I mean, Jordan Love would be like, nobody's open? I'm going to try to run it for 24 yards. I'm like, bro, oh my God. He had the one. It was 3rd and long.
3rd and 16.
Tyler and I were actually talking about this.
I didn't hate it.
And/or poor play calling and coaching. The coaching is.
Oh, wait. So are you talking about 4th? No, I was talking about 4th and 16.
Yeah, hold on.
Sorry.
So the 3rd and long, he throws the ball in the double coverage, which was a questionable decision to begin with. But if you're going to, me and you talked a couple weeks ago, you got to just take the training wheels off. Fuck it and chuck it, dude. Like, plain and simple. Tell Love, here's the goddamn keys. If you crash it, whatever. Just crash it if you have to crash it, dude. But just let him go. You're holding him back. We don't know what we're looking at right now, okay? And because we don't know what we're looking at, you get comments like I just made and David just made where I said that the goddamn coaching has been horrible. If you're calling good plays and Love is making bad decisions, he's turning the ball over 4 times, whatever. Let it happen. Let it fucking happen. Nobody's going to be looking at you, Matt, okay? You could still have time to go get your fucking eyebrows done. Dude, I was ripping his ass, dude, on Sunday. I was pissed. So, yeah, make sure your shirt's all fucking ironed. You don't know how to call a play in the first half. Oh, I was pissed. Dude, I'm so sick and tired of the first half struggles. It is honestly getting to me now. But The thing with this that I was getting to, he throws it into double coverage, right, on third down.
Yep.
On 4th and 16, he decides to run.
I didn't hate it.
Bro, no, don't do
I didn't
that.
hate it.
Don't do that. Tyler, I still love you, but don't do that. Don't do that. How the hell are you going to justify throwing into double coverage on third down, and then you have a goddamn down where you need to get the yards? You don't have another down to go to, and you decide to run?
Okay,
Double coverage again.
Let's not act like he ran for like 4 yards here.
No. That's not the point. He still didn't get the first down. He still didn't get the first down, Simon.
I'm not saying he
throwing in double coverage on third.
I'm not saying he
coverage
did.
on fourth.
Okay, but I love speed and his size enough, and he's willing to. I know it sounds stupid because like normally you'd shame a quarterback for doing it. He throws his body around a little bit.
No. I love all that.
Yeah, stuff. But there was nobody in front of him. They literally stopped him a half a yard shy.
Listen to me.
I like the effort, and I like the decision there.
Okay, sidebar because I'm getting a little upset. 3-pointer by Giannis Antetokounmpo. I am being so serious right now, dude. If you throw into double coverage on third, you do not tuck and run on fourth. I'm sorry. That is horrible. That is horrible.
I mean, this
was the worst decision he made the whole game.
No, I highly disagree with that.
Yeah, Michael, sorry. I'm yelling about Jordan Love's decision making right now, so I didn't see the first one. We made 18 threes today. Holy crap. About time. Dude, I can't get with it. And I understand all the context of his speed. He's definitely faster than I thought he was. I love that he is, not afraid to throw his body around. I love it. But, man, Cody, you son of a bitch. I was going to bring that up in a little bit. I was going to bring that up with my key for the Rams game. But let's get moving here because I don't want to talk about Jordan Love anymore right now.
Are you sure?
Oh, dude. When I tell you that shit pissed me off, dude. If my daughter wasn't watching me, dude, I would have been a whole different person. So now we have.
Don't say around your daughter.
I hold back a little bit. I crank it back. She's starting to talk more, so I crank it back a little bit more because I don't want her to say that because my girlfriend will really kick my ass if I do any of that. But now the next topic is third downs. So that is part of Tyler's notes if you want to get that up.
Oh, sorry. I was following along. I'm kind of like, I'm not watching the game, but like I see Michael in the comments talking about the Bucs game. I love it. Third down. Vile. Third and 1, no gain. This is just the first half. Third and 1, no gain. 3rd and 6, drop by Musgrave after a drop by Jones on second down. 3rd and 17, delay of game. 3 points. Jesus, this is hard to read.
Yeah, I don't understand how you use any of that shit, man.
I think if I was watching, I might be able to follow along better. Okay. I see what he's saying. 3rd and 17, delay game. 3 plus 22. 3rd and 16 after hold on 2nd and 6. Then 3rd and 6, Love to Watson for 7. 3rd and 3, Love to Jones for 4 yards. 3rd and 6, Love to Musgrave for 7. 0 for 4 start. 3 for 3 to finish the first half on the field goal. On a lucky offsides. Dude, did you watch the replay of the offsides, by the way?
Bro, there's like 7 people offside.
Dude, their whole left side of the defensive line was offsides. I was like,
they were all offside.
I was like,
they just picked the one guy who was the farthest over.
Yeah, they did. 3rd and 7, first half. 3 for 7 in the first half. Average distance of 8.6 yards. And then I guess 5 for 14 overall. In the second half, 3rd and 8, ball taken from Reed for the interception. 3rd and 2, Love to Dobbs for 10. 3rd and goal at the 1 yard line, 0 yard run. And then they ended up giving the touchdown to Romeo Dobbs. 3rd and 7, Love to Licks. love to Wicks. Maybe. My bad,
boy.
dude.
Oh, that's
My
funny.
bad, dude. I can toss that blunder up. I love to Wicks
Dude,
for.
I saved that, by the way, so we're definitely making that. That's gonna be a real now.
All right, I'll accept it. For 11, and Tyler wrote maybe Love's best play this year. 3rd and 5, incomplete to Watson. 3rd and 16, incomplete to Watson. Everyone was doubled. You only scramble so long before you have to actually throw it. 3rd and 10, strip sack. 2 for 7 in the second half. Average distance 7 yards, and then 4th down, they went 1 for 4. Where we talked about Jordan Love's 15-yard run, 2 incompletions, and a touchdown to Dobbs. I know that was a lot to say hot trash.
That was a lot. So now we have special teams before we get into the defense here. So Bryant has special teams, so I will cover special teams here. He said, got bailed out on a miss because half of the Vikings offensive line was offsides. I think he meant defensive line.
Yeah,
and a penalty by the Vikings on a big return. We did get lucky on that, but it was a penalty. Nixon, once again, averaging around 20 yards a return, so worse than what our starting position would be if he would kneel. They haven't looked nearly good enough this year to justify all the players we have signed on the as special team aces, he put in quotes.
Yeah. The Corey Valentines, Eric Wilsons, guys like that.
He's not wrong about that. I won't lie. So then after that, we move into the defensive portion, and we have secondary, which is yours.
Okay, secondary, hot garbage. Kirk tore up our secondary. They had 5 out of the 7 missed tackles, which I'll just roll into tackling. The team missed as a total 7 missed tackles. Not bad, not the greatest. They were okay. On the secondary, Kirk Cousins targeting our secondary, 20 for 25, 240 yards and 2 touchdowns. And only 1 pass breakup.
Yikes.
Yeah. They were not great.
Okay, so I'll do my rush defense. You can do the D-line, then we'll go back to pass rush. So rush defense is what I have written down. So rush defense, we 31 carries for 62 yards and a touchdown. That's only 2 yards a carry. This is by far the best game of the season for the rush defense. Madison had 16 carries for 31 yards. That's a 1.9 average. He also had a long of 10. So 10 of his 31 yards came on 1 carry.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. So if you take that away, he had 15 carries for 21 yards. That's a 1.4 yard average.
Oof.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah, we take those.
Yeah. Akers, 9 carries for 19 yards and a touchdown. It's 2.1. He had a long of 9. So if you take that away, he had 8 carries for 10 yards. That's 1.25 yards a carry. So the defense actually, besides, like, take away those 19 yards. I mean, think about it, dude. That's 43 yards on 29 carries. That's pretty stout, dude.
Yeah, that's stout.
Cousins had 2 carries for 9 yards. One of them, he did pick up a 3rd down because they did like a little version of their push. Powell had 1 carry for 2 yards. Addison 1 carry for 2 yards, and their backup Hall had 2 carries for -1 yard. So overall, the rush defense, you can't say anything other than, I would say, an A if I had to give it a grade.
That was they balled out this week.
Yeah, they played really, really good. So then you can go into defensive line, I believe it is. Yeah, you can do your defensive line, then I'll do pass rush, and then I'll read the red zone defense. So you can do D-line right now.
Yeah, defensive line, phenomenal this week. TJ Slaton, great game. I'm actually surprised that he wasn't part of our 3 stars.
Yeah.
Or at least whatever. Anyways, he played a really good game. The D-line was credited with 9 stops according to PFF, which constitutes as a negative play for the offense. And like you said, the helped hold the Vikings 62 yards on 32 attempts. And then Devontae Wyatt ended up with 3 pressures on 19 pass rush snaps, Clark added 3 pressures and a sack. Slayton and Wooden each added a pressure apiece. And Brooks had 2 pressures and a blocked field goal attempt.
Yeah, that was an amazing play.
It was.
Brian said, good call. I did forget about the block. I love 2 licks, Bryant says.
We know.
Wait, yeah, I'm not even. Never mind. Just never mind. All right. So, TJ Slayton for me is at his best at stopping the run. Yeah, he's not really a pass rusher, and I'll tell you what. His body shape isn't made for running down a quarterback. His body shape is made for taking 2 giant humans and pushing them backwards.
Dude, he's 330 pounds. He's a big old boy.
A big old boy.
He's a big old boy.
Pass rush. You stole a little bit of my thunder, but Smith had 2 sacks, 2 hits, and 1 hurry. You're fine, buddy. I'm just giving you shit. Campbell had 1 quarterback hit. Wyatt had 1 quarterback hit and 2 hurries. Van Ness, he had a batted ball, so that was a great play by him. He didn't record a hit, a hurry, or a sack, but he's pushing people back. He's kind of the guy that's like the lead blocker in a sense, where he's like, when they run a stunt, he just kind of takes out a couple people, and then if somebody will whip around him, and he's good at that. I can give him that. He's definitely got to progress though. Yeah. Brooks, 2 hurries. Clark, a sack, a hit, a hurry. His sack came when Kirk actually tore his Achilles. That play, which man, I feel bad for Kirk. He's a very likable guy on a very not likable team.
Yeah, I like Kirk a lot. He's a good human.
He is. TJ Slayton had a hurry. Gary had a hit and a hurry. He got robbed of a sack. I don't. The roughing the passer stuff is still so. It's like a pass interference now. It's so touchy. They can call it whenever they want, man.
The Monday night game was pretty bad too. I don't know if you watched it. There's like three. There's 2 or 3 roughing the passes where you're like, come on, man. Like,
yeah. I mean, there was one. God, what was it? The Jaguars game. But man, I was like, wow. Wooden had a hurry. Enigbari and Walker didn't record anything for pass rushing, but overall, I mean, honestly, besides the pass defense, which was understandably bad with where we are in our depth chart. Don't expect it to improve. We're going to be watching growth in front of our eyes with a bunch of young guys. But the defense overall played a pretty good game, in my opinion. Kept them in it. They
the front 7.
They got exhausted, dude. That's what I think.
The front 7 had a good game. The secondary was not great.
If Jair was playing the way that he was supposed to play, we'd probably win that game.
Yeah. I'm wondering how much his injury hurt him, or he's just like having a tough year. Because
I don't know. That's a good question. So I got red zone defense here. And I actually wrote down some stuff for red zone defense as well. So I'll read what Bryant wrote, and then I'll read what I have written down. Red zone defense was fine. Let them score on 50% of their trips, but it doesn't look great considering the Vikings had below 50% success rate heading into the game. And Tyler, I don't know if he read it. I dropped a freaking nasty stat last week about the Vikings. I can go back and read it here. Vikings, they had 0 rushing touchdowns from goal to goal situations. Here it is. Vikings have 0 rush touchdowns. All 16 of their touchdowns have come from the pass.
Yep.
Even though they had the 3rd most attempts in goal to goal situations, Packers have given up 5, which was the 9th most going into the game. And then obviously we let up a rush touchdown to Cam Akers. It was bound to happen, right?
Yep.
So what I have written down here is the Vikings ran 17 plays in the red zone for 36 yards. Those 36 yards, they scored 3 touchdowns and a field goal.
Ooh.
Yeah. Not great stuff. I mean, and when you take into consideration that 20 of those 36 yards came on 1 pass play to Addison, that's 16 plays for 16 yards. So they're getting a yard a play. They got 2 touchdowns and a field goal out of that, dude.
Yeah.
That tells me that we need to play the field position a little bit better. Because if we're able to kind of lock them up a little bit like that, I mean, situationally, I mean, you think about the Hawkinson touchdown. and people were making jokes about Preston Smith. Bro, he locked him down on third down.
Yeah,
He absolutely clamped him, dude.
So I know we were talking about PFF grades. He had the best PFF coverage grade out of the Packers this week.
Oh my god!
I thought that as soon as I saw that play, I was like, I went earlier and looked at it. I was
dude, he clamped him. I was like, holy
he
crap,
did.
dude.
He did. Yeah, like people love to talk crap, but
I wanted to be like,
working out.
The haters, bro.
Yeah.
But,
that's why Preston had the best week.
Yeah.
Sitting there locking down tight ends.
He didn't allow a touchdown pass either.
Oh, yeah.
Great. So, hold on here. I'm going the wrong way. So the next topic that we have is third down defense, which is mine. So third down defense.
Tough.
Yeah, it's about to get ugly, boys. Third and 3.
If anything, I'm more mad about this than anything else in the game.
No lie. No lie. Like, we had so many opportunities to win this game. It's not even funny.
Yeah.
Third and 3, they had 5 attempts. They got 3 of them. Third and 3 or shorter, they had 5 attempts, and they picked up 3 of them. Third and 7, third and 6, third and 7s, third and 5, third and 6, third and 7s, those medium ones, they had 0 attempts.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's not a bad thing. Third and 8.
This makes me cry.
This is where you want them, right? Got them right where we want them. They are who we thought they were, right?
The run defense did their job.
They did. They did do their job. They picked up 7 of fucking 12.
So bad, dude.
They got 2 more on flags. That is horrible. Overall, they were 10 of 18 on third downs and 1 of 1 on fourth down. The Packers, so first downs for the Vikings, they had 14 from the pass, 6 from the run, and 4 from penalties. 2 of those 4 are on third and longs. That's just, dude, I was getting so mad writing these down. I was like, oh, this hurts. I had to watch it and not have to write it. It's like when you're in school and you have to write what you did wrong like 10 times, you know what I'm saying, on the whiteboard.
Bart Simpson.
Right. The Packers' third down percentage is 39%, which is actually not that bad. 16th in the NFL. The last 3 weeks, their third down percentage is 46.5. That's 30th. It's not even last, dude.
God, I can't even think of who's worse.
The Buccaneers are giving up 53% of third downs the last 3 weeks.
Okay.
Fourth down percentage, we are tied for last place, tied for 31st with the Browns at 75%.
God.
So people want to talk about this. They want to talk about offensive line. They want to talk about Jordan Love. You want to look for a place to improve? Third down and fourth down defense.
Yep.
People want to talk about the defense being on the field the whole time. Stop them on third down. You won't be on the field the whole time. Pretty self-explanatory if you ask me. So the next topic that we have here is we have to talk about Jordan Love. So I'm going to let you go first, and then I will read Bryant's, and then you can read Tyler's, and then I'll say mine, okay? So why don't you go first and tell me your opinion on Jordan Love's development?
Okay. I want to come back to that because that's an interesting topic. It's just, man, it's so hard to this is one of the games where it's like incredibly difficult to make a judgment call on Jordan Love's play. Did he play perfect? No, not even close. And I'm not claiming this. I'll never claim it unless he somehow becomes like fucking Aaron Rodgers or something. But this was such a tough game because he had 41 attempts, only finished with 196 yards. Matt LaFleur counted about 6 drops. I kind of more or less agree with that. And he took 4 sacks this game. Uh, Love's interception in the second half was more or less the turning point for this game, where I'm just like, man, it would be just incredibly tough for this team to come back. Um, Jaden Reed had a chance for reception. I thought it was a really good throw. Um, to me, right on the money, catchable ball for a receiver, and unluckily, it just fell in the DB's hands. And then they go up 24-3, and then it just everything else after that was a struggle in the fourth quarter. And the Packers, I felt like, had an opportunity, and I'll never root for this, obviously, but like after Kirk got hurt, I felt like there was an opportunity to go out and win this game. And we had the ball on their half of the field, what felt like 3 or 4 times, where we had the opportunity to put some points on the board. And it just never came to fruition. The time started getting really close, and Jordan Love felt like he had to press the ball down the field. And that just made for some 50-50 balls that never went our way. And part of it is the wide receiver development and not understanding, uh, you know, or I guess I would say how to muscle a ball a little bit more, or play for the 50-50 ball. Um, and just between the drops and the penalties. Oh, the penalties are another thing. I don't know if I think I'm gonna leave it for Tyler's part, but this is, and I said this last week too, is this offense is so underdeveloped that penalties literally ruin drives.
Yep.
And like I said earlier, 6 offensive penalties just screws this team so bad. And that's what is like half of these slow starts in the first half are probably due to penalties, or at least partially due to penalties. It puts a hamper on the offense and the play calling and what Jordan Love can do. And so to me, this is one of those games where between drops and penalties, that was most of the offense's day. And so to me, it was just really incredibly hard to judge Love and his ability to play ball on this game.
Yeah, I agree with all that. So now I'm going to read Bryant's. Simon's going to read Tyler's, and then I will give my thoughts. I don't have many because I'm saving some stuff for later. But Jordan Love, I thought he actually looked okay for the game. If there weren't 6 drops, his numbers would look way different. You would like to see them scoring the opportunities they had towards the end of the game, but that's not all on Jordan. He does need to work on his targeting in the flats, as there were some easy completions there, like the ball to Jones. You can call a drop, but it could have been a better throw as well. I don't disagree with that, to be honest with you. Overall, I'm okay with what Jordan is showing us. I just want to see some of these near miss plays be completed. Bryant was cooking right there.
Yeah.
That would 100% be nice to see if they could take just a step forward in some of those 50-50 balls, or some of those big third downs that happen. If they could turn them into first downs, that would be massive. So what does Tyler have for this section?
We're kind of starting to mesh together on a lot of this stuff, so I'm not gonna go over things that have already been said. He feels like between the Reed interception and maybe some of these 50-50, whatever balls come down, that there's an opportunity for the Packers to be tied at 17 at some point in the fourth quarter. He also mentioned that they gave up 11 pressures to Vikings players and 4 sacks, but could have. All right, this is what he wrote. He's still under a good amount of pressure, 11 and 4 sacks, but could have had a pretty damn good game if helped out by those around him. So I guess, like we've been saying, we feel like the rest of everyone else kind of let him down in a certain way. And then he wrote, disclaimer, by saying this does not mean I think Love is flawless. I feel like that's a good point too, is like, by saying this, I feel like, by saying all of this, it feels like we're giving Love an out on his play, which isn't true. Love didn't have a perfect game by him throwing himself, but People need to stop saying that we're giving Love excuses and we're saying Love is perfect and everyone else around him just sucks. That's not true either.
Mm-hmm. No, I
What you
agree
got,
with
bud?
that. So for me, David was getting a little ahead of me, and I was texting my dad so much. I was like, clearly sending the play in and letting Love try to pre-snap read like he's a 10-year vet is not working. We need to go into the hurry up. I would like to see us play with a little bit more pace. I would like, and I'm going to sound redundant, but seriously, just give him the goddamn keys. Again, if he crashes the son of a bitch, our season's already pretty much done, okay? We have like a 6% chance to make the playoffs, dude.
I'll take it.
Jair
said we're winning out, so
Jair said we're winning out.
I'm for it.
If they clean up a few things, I mean, our schedule is actually pretty nice, to be honest with you. The Chiefs aren't world beaters. The Chargers are the Chargers. They find ways to lose games all the time. The Vikings are now done. So, I mean, Josh Dobbs is nice, but he's not Kirk Cousins, okay? The Bears, we still have the Bears left. The Steelers aren't amazing by any stretch of the imagination, and we play the Rams this week. So, I mean, when you really break it down game by game, there's a lot of winnable games left. And the Packers aren't out here just getting killed every week either. Yep. So, and people are like, oh, I believe it when I see it, all this, blah, 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 and they're talking crap. And the only thing I wanted to comment to those people is like, there's clearly a reason why Jair Alexander is one of the top corners in the NFL, and you're sitting on your couch talking about him. It's mindset.
Yep.
Plain and simple.
Yeah, I not to dive into that, but I think that's exactly what you want from your players, though, right?
Yeah.
Like you want them to believe that they're going to go out there and win every game for the rest of the season. Is it probably going to happen? Probably not. But I'm for it. Oh, it's good.
Right. So you have coaching and time of possession on Tyler's page, so let's talk about that real quick.
Yeah. Got a lot of this stuff we've already talked about. The drops. Penalties. Yeah, we already kind of talked a lot about penalties. We're the most penalized team per game this season. Kind of gross.
I saw that.
Tyler wants to mix things up. However, with young players committing a ton of penalties and miscues, coaches have to keep things simple. At the end of the season, nobody's job is safe. I stand by what I said. There will be no season firings, but on Black Monday, no one is safe. I agree with that. I don't think there's going to be any in-season firings. If they do happen, which I believe the arc of this season, the way it's going, people are going to get fired. It's going to happen. And then Vikings had the ball for over 30 seconds. Packers are last in the NFL in time of possession.
They are.
I think that's to nobody's surprise due to first half struggles. I don't think that we got to be last in time of possession in the first half. I think Tyler said it last week, but I don't have the times in front of me. But we're probably going to talk about first half struggles some more. But
yeah, it's not been great. So now that that's over, we can finally get into the Los Angeles Rams.
You're like, let's move on from that dumpster fire.
I just honestly that's how I just kind of deal with things now. Like
I'm good with that, man.
I'm gonna think about it. I'm gonna talk about it. We're gonna move the hell on. Okay.
I think that's the way to do it, man. That's the mindset you have. What's already happened, and now we can talk about how the Packers can beat the shit out of the Rams.
Yep. So we're gonna start with how the offense is going to do. Okay. So what I want to do is I want to start with Tyler and Bryant so we can get them out of the way and then we can naturally talk about our own stuff. So,
so we can start our mutiny. Got it.
So I'm gonna read Bryant's notes on what he has for the offense. He's talking about the wide receiver development and the running game. So wide receiver development, he has written down. I'm gonna click on comments here so I can read those. What do you expect the players to say? Yeah, we gonna tank. Yeah, exactly, Cody. Wide receiver development, the Rams have been pretty good against the pass, so I don't expect it to be easy on the young receivers, but I just want to see them actually catch some of these 50-50 balls that Love is giving them a chance at. I mean, what else needs to be said about that? We all would love that, right? That would be a good thing for us. And as far as the running game, Rams are giving up 115 yards per game on the ground and have given up 9 touchdowns. Donald is going to be a problem, so we need to have a plan to contain him. But hopefully Jones is healthy enough to see 15 carries this game. That would be helpful to see Aaron Jones touch the ball a little bit more. I would love to see a 20 carry or a 20 touch game, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen for the rest of the season for some reason. I don't know why. But
he's going to let him loose, though.
Yeah, he's gonna let him loose for 12 touches. I'm gonna let you read Tyler's, and you can go right away, and then I'll give my little thoughts.
Okay. So Love has 3 more touchdowns and only 1 more interception than Stafford on 42 fewer attempts. Obviously, there are fewer yards, but it's still there. The Los Angeles Rams only given up 15 sacks this year. The Los Angeles Rams have only 15 sacks on the year, which is 26 in the NFL, and that's our chance to keep Love upright. Green Bay is at 40.4% on third down, which is 15th in the NFL, currently meeting Tyler's goal of 40%, and in the top half of the NFL.
Okay.
Do you want me to go?
Yeah, go ahead. Give your thoughts, buddy.
All right. So I found this on She Said TV, so thank them. Green Bay went 38 of 79 on contested catches in 2022, good for 48%. This season, the Packers are averaging only 20.9% on contested balls.
Golly.
Yeah, that's so different.
I mean, Cobb's pretty good at it. Lazard's pretty solid
Lazard
at it.
Yep. Right now, the Packers ranked 27th in rushing attempts with 162 and 25th in rushing yards so far this season. For the offense to find any sort of success, and this is where I'm just praying that A.J. Dillon and Aaron Jones can have a good game and our offensive line can hold up. They're gonna have to find a better way to run the ball than what they have. And this just goes back to I've said this before about Matt LaFleur, but like with no consistent offense in the first half and us falling behind, Matt LaFleur always finds a way to get away from the run game, and hopefully this will change going forward. But the 0-0 -7 games, you can't sit there and abandon the run and have Love throw the ball 40 times. That didn't work last week. It's not going to work moving forward. What you got, bud?
Yeah, Bucks just gave up the lead. Big 3-pointer by Brunson there. The Bucks are losing 103-101. So let's talk about some offense from the Green Bay Packers. The slow starts can't continue. We've talked about this a million times. The Packers have the worst first half offense in the league by a large margin. We haven't scored a touchdown in the first half in 5 straight games. That's the longest streak since 1988. So that's just horrible. The offense overall, I wrote down all the rankings for our offense and their defense. Total, we're 25th in total yards, 287. We're 21st in the pass, 198.6. I got these stats off ESPN app. So if you're looking for reassurance, that's where I get my numbers from. Rush yards, we're 26th at 88.4. And points, we are 21st at 20. The Rams on defense, they are 17th. They give up 333.6. They are 13th against the pass, which is actually respectable. So I agree with Bryant. 218.5. The rush, they give up 115.1. So they're 20th. And points, they're 21st. They average giving up 23 points per game. So when you look at it and you're trying to find ways, just looking at these numbers, and you're trying to find a way to attack them, it's got to be on the ground, right? Got to attack them at the ground. And that's kind of how you neutralize Donald as a pass rusher. You have to run right at him. Obviously, you have to double team him and figure it out from there. But that's how you have to attack this Los Angeles Rams defense. I watched a lot of Rams games. My father-in-law is a big Rams fan. So when the Packers aren't playing, I watch a lot of Rams games. Damian Lillard just hit a bonkers 3-pointer. Game time. Let's go.
Game time.
So with that being said, we are going to switch to defense.
More game time.
Yeah. Oh, Brunson going at him. Oh, good defense, Dame. Okay, let's just hold on a sec. I gotta watch that.
Okay, you can watch it.
I'll comment there. Oh, so Middleton, ooh, big screen, dribble it out. Okay, gives it to Dame. Dame drives to the rim with the foul and one.
Dame time, baby.
Dame time. He scored a 3, which was bonkers. I can't.
And makes the free throw.
And then don't ruin it.
Oh, you're behind? My bad, dude.
Behind.
My bad. I'm sorry.
Okay. I mean, I knew he was going to make it anyways. He shot 90%
for sure
last year, 94. He was good at free throws.
He's a fucking automatic, dude.
He's 9 for 9 this game, so he's obviously going to be 10 for 10. The first game that we played against the 76ers, Tyler and I talked about it on Wednesday. He went 17 to 17, so that's
impressive.
It is.
Oh, that is impressive.
We won a really close game. I mean, it was a 4-point game, and everybody was like, "Why did we win by 1?" They made a 3 at the buzzer to make it look a little closer. But okay, so Randall's driving. Horrible decision. Yeah. What is going on here? Okay, I was about to say, if they call it goaltend, I'm gonna be pissed. So I don't know why you're driving at Brook Lopez like you think you're the man or something like that, Julius Randle. This ain't high school no more, dog. Okay, so Randall's got the ball at the top. He's going to drive left. Go on, Giannis. Giannis bodying him up. Good D. Brook with the block. Dude, that's got to be like 6 or 7 now. I know he had like 4.5.
Oh, I can look.
7th block of the game, dude. He had 4 in the first half.
Damn.
You know what? Griffin was just talking about switching Brook to make him play more towards the paint. That's what he does, bro. This is what he does. He's literally – how is that not a foul on New York? He literally grabbed his entire arm.
Ugh.
12 points, 5 rebounds, 7 blocks. If that is the most
dude.
Brook Lopez stat line of all time, dude, I'm being so serious. And everybody who, just a little context, everybody who complains about his rebounding, he just is the best box outer of all time. Like, he just boxes people out and Giannis gets the rebound. Why is he missing free throws, though? He's a good free throw shooter. Lopez, Cody says, at 9:15, 2 minutes ago. I'm sorry I didn't read it earlier. That was good defense. All right, bro. Give me one. Just give me one. We're up by 4 right now. I want a 5-point lead. That's a little bit more comfortable. I was more touch on that one. The first one was real line drive. Didn't like any of that.
Dude shot the ball 28 times. Holy shit.
Who is that, Brunson?
Yeah.
Yeah, he has like 43 tonight, though.
Yeah. He made 16 of them.
I mean, he's a good player.
Yeah.
I cannot believe he made that. That's stupid, bro. He should not have made that 3-pointer, but that's Damian Lillard, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so they're doing a little timeout right now. Let's talk about defense. Give me your thoughts on the defense.
All right, defense. I'll read Tyler's first.
All right.
Tyler's. Barry said they're planning for Matt Stafford, and he's questionable going into this game. I believe with a hand injury or a thumb injury.
Yeah, it's a thumb, I think.
I think. And if Stafford's a no-go, he's a true game-time decision. Their game plan doesn't change with Ripon, who's their backup. And he's also hoping to build on last week's run defense that we talked about earlier.
Okay.
All right. Do you want to go or are you?
I'm going to read Bryant's real quick.
Yep.
All right. So he said if Matt Stafford doesn't play, we absolutely need to pressure their backup and not give him quick, easy, wide-open throws. I know we have been burnt by playing man, but if we are going to play zone or a little softer, we need to do it about halfway instead of 8 to 10 yards back. Bait him into a mistake. These wide receivers are dangerous, so either they or whoever is at quarterback needs to be knocked off their timing. Rams are bottom half of the league, giving up sacks, so there should be some opportunities. Force this team to kick field goals in the red zone, and we should have a decent chance. So you can give your thoughts while I focus in and out on you. I apologize.
That's all good, dude. I can talk. So with the Rasul Douglas trade, the Packers will more than likely turn to rookie Carrington Valentine and Corey Ballantyne to fill that outside role. And they're going to have their hands full this week. Puka Nacua, who I had zero thoughts on entering the year, has kind of like just burst onto the scene. He has 61 receptions on 89 targets. And then obviously you have Cooper Kupp, who's 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Or was it 3 years ago? Won the Triple Crown. 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
3. Well, this is going on 1, 2. Yeah, 2 years ago. Okay. Yeah. So hopefully Jair is back, is feeling a little bit better this week. He's so hard to talk about this year because he hasn't had like that Jair game yet.
Yeah.
And then obviously Rams without Stafford are just a worse team in general.
Yeah. I mean, you saw it last year. They were really bad when Stafford went down. Obviously, Kupp, and then they kind of mailed it in. I won't lie, but they knew.
They have a solid receiving core with Nakua kind of being that number 2 guy, and then Tutu's having a pretty good year too. Tutu Atwell.
He's been cooking, bro.
Yeah.
And Higbee is like, he's not a top tight end, but he's definitely not somebody you can just forget about. Higbee's pretty solid. So as far as the Packers defense versus the Rams offense, the Rams are pass first. Okay. The pass sets up the run. The pass scores the points, but that's a lot of Matt Stafford. How's his name? Ripken or whatever.
Right.
Ripken. Started a couple games. Bucks win. Let's go. All right. I needed that W so freaking bad. Oh my God. Thank you. Oh God, dude. Like, I haven't seen the Packers win since freaking like late September
24th.
Yeah. In 6. I agree, Cody. The Bucks just got smashed against the freaking Raptors. Like, they looked like they didn't want any part of being in Toronto, dude. That was horrible. And then, the Badgers football lost to Ohio State. I mean, I was just going through it. But I needed to win, got to win. Packers defense, dude, plain and simple. If the front 7 plays like they did and they stop the run and Rashawn Gary is all juiced up because he's a $100 million man and he gets after whoever is at quarterback, I promise you Matthew Stafford doesn't want to get hit in the cold. I promise you that. He doesn't want to get hit in the cold with a broken hand either. I do think, because that's one thing that I've always respected about him, is he plays through a lot of injuries like this. So I think that he will try to play. But either way, the back 4 is going to probably get tore up a little bit. I won't lie to you. That Puka Nacua is absolutely a future stud. Cooper Kupp is one of the top 5 best receivers in this league. And, we talked about Higbee already. I mean, if the front 7 doesn't get pressure on Matthew Stafford, it might be a long day on Sunday. I won't lie.
Yep.
I'm just going to keep it real. Okay, so the next topic that we have, I'm going the wrong way again, is we have to talk about matchups we're watching. So matchups we are watching, what do you have?
The Packers versus the yellow flag.
Is that really yours?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay, you have a stat on it or what?
Huh?
You have a stat on it or what?
I only would have already said it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we're leading the league in flags per game.
Okay. Why don't you just read Tyler's notes real quick?
I haven't read his yet. Jair versus Kupp and Nakua needs a bounce back game, especially with Russell being traded.
Okay. So I will read Bryant's then. Bryant's matchup is Myers-Jenkins Runyon versus Aaron Donald. Donald will make a play or two. We can't let him wreck the game. We need the interior offensive line to open up some running lanes for Jones. And shocker of all shockers, my matchup is also Donald versus the Packers O-line. Max Crosby absolutely ate on us on national television. That was almost embarrassing. That was like really embarrassing to watch. So obviously Aaron Donald, who is viewed as, the best player or one of the best players in the NFL right now. They can line them up all different spots. They can line them up outside, inside, over the center, guards, tackles, tight ends. It doesn't matter. Wherever you put that guy, he's a beast. So watch out for 99.
So you can always count on one Aaron Donald unsportsmanlike conduct.
Yep, he's probably going to choke somebody.
Yep.
I almost made that joke, dude. I almost was going to make that joke in my time.
Someone had to do it.
Yep. All right. So the next thing that we have is X Factors. So why don't you give me your X Factor?
X Factor. So I have Christian Watson versus Darion Kendrick. He's uh, probably going to get benched from what the things I've been reading about him, and he has seven penalties at the cornerback position this year. He doesn't have the speed to keep up with Watson either.
Okay, I'm with it. You want to read Tyler?
X Factor Aaron Jones. Not had him 100% all year. This might be the healthiest he's been since week 1. We need him in the run game and the passing game. Okay. I hope no one else had. My bad. I didn't read what he had to write beforehand.
Okay, so I'll do my X Factor, then I'll read Bryant's. X Factor, I have Jair Alexander.
Okay.
Jair Alexander needs to be an X Factor for one reason only. He needs to be a leader on this team.
Agreed.
With the trading of Rasul Douglas, who was a leader on this team, we no longer have an Aaron Rodgers on this team. We no longer have a Mercedes Lewis on this team. So now Jair Alexander's role for being a leader is going to be looked at even more. Obviously, him, you got guys like Kenny Clark and Rashawn Gary who can be leaders as well. But, you know, his interview last week, or his post-game interview, kind of rubbed people the wrong way, which I understand. I don't disagree with some things that he's saying, but I just think that there is a more positive, better way to kind of portray what he's trying to pull off, if you get what I'm saying.
I agree.
So I'm just going to leave it at that. Jair, I still love you. We still love you at Wisco Fanatics. We know that you still that bad man. So go out there and prove it. Lock down some good wide receivers over there in LA. So as far as X Factor, Bryant has Jordan Love in the running game. The Rams have given up 200 yards rushing and 4 TDs to QBs so far this year, including 3 games where the QB rushed for more than 45 yards. I think if the Rams over pursue in rushing him, he will have a chance to make some plays on the ground. Too bad that Bryant didn't come on the show because he's kind of cooking in these notes, dude.
Yeah, pretty good.
These are much better than 3 weeks ago, Bryant. So congratulations on growing up.
Hell yeah.
So now we will go to my weather report, and then we will give our keys to the game. So Green Bay on Sunday is what I have written down. It's actually going to be a pretty nice day after we had a shitty Halloween day. It snowed like all morning and afternoon on Halloween, and it was just like slushy bullshit.
I don't really want to hear about snow.
Yeah, dude. Terrible.
It's been snowing since October 1st here.
So. You live in Alaska, bro. It's not comparable. So Sunday during the day, it's going to be cloudy, high of 51, winds south at 5 to 10 miles per hour. So really just a fall day.
Hell yeah. Perfect.
Yeah, really. So now we're going to go into keys of the game. So let's get it.
All right. Tyler's keys to the game. Previously mentioned Green Bay is last in time of possession. Possess the ball and keep their Kupp and Nakua on the sidelines. And that kind of leads into mine, which I have a very great stat for. Well, I have a couple. The Packers are 28th in total first downs this season with 122 through 7 games. Of those 122, 31 have come on the ground, 76 through the air, and 15 by penalty. Green Bay is one of only 2 teams in the league yet to score a touchdown the first half at home all season. And we're heading into our 4th home game.
The other one is the Saints, right?
I don't know off the top of my head. I'd have to look it up. Okay. I got one more really great stat, which is really not great, but it is what it is. The Packers on average, and this is kind of surprising to me, Packers on average are starting their drives at their own 29.5-yard line, which is 10th best in the NFL. Okay. So not bad. Despite that, they're only averaging 5.61 plays, which is 27th in the league, 26.8 yards, 25th in the league, and taking 2 minutes and 32 seconds per drive, 28th in the league.
Oh my God, dude.
God, this is like the 4th week in a row I've said this since I've been back. Move the ball. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Move the ball.
All right. So I will read Bryant's. Bryant's key to the game is he tries to be the funny guy here. Score more points than the Rams.
Oh, yeah. I love it.
It's a good one. by winning the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball, protect Jordan and help the run game while throwing the Rams off of their rhythm. Those are some good answers. So for me, it's pretty plain and simple what needs to happen here. Jordan Love agrees with it. Packers need to start fast. I don't know how many times I'm going to need to say this until it actually happens, but I'm going to keep doing it. Packers have only scored over 24 points one time. They have scored 24 points in a game twice. Week 1 and week 2.
Yep.
The Rams are just coming off a game where the defense gave up 3 touchdowns and then they threw a pick 6. They were losing 33-9 at half, which would be the second highest score we have scored in the entire season.
Tough.
Packers, this is going to hurt your feelings, over the last 3 weeks have scored 40 total points. Fucking yikes, dude. We got 2 comments in here.
I saw Cody's comment.
You guys see that Pickens already posting free me and removing Steelers stuff from his socials? No. Simon's exterior is made of, what the hell is that? Ice?
Ice.
I like it. Oh, I didn't see that. Yeah, Pickens is a phenomenal talent. He's just got attitude problems.
Yeah, I think that's why a lot of teams passed on him too.
Yeah, he was my favorite wide receiver in the draft, dude.
I loved him.
This guy's gonna be a monster, dude.
Yeah.
So let's go to Simon Says. So
are we doing the scores first or last?
Oh yeah, that's a good point. I always thought doing Simon Says first would be better.
Oh, yeah, I mean, it's up to you.
We'll do scores first.
Okay.
God damn it, I dropped my pen. Just kidding, it's under my fat cat. Okay, thank you. All right. So Simon, what is your score from the head?
Okay. Did you see my message earlier?
No.
Just start me at -11.
Okay, yeah, I will.
Okay. And then I'll go from there. All right. I have the Packers winning 20-17 from the head.
20-17?
Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty close. All right, so I will read Bryant's score. Bryant's score from the head is Packers 17, Rams 16. That one,
yeah.
He can hit the nail on the head with that. That one,
I would love it.
Both these teams are very evenly matched. They both have their ugly points. That would be the perfect ugly game.
That would be.
So give me Tyler's score from the head.
Oh, excuse me. Sorry, dude. 23-20 Rams.
Rams.
Yeah, pick the Rams.
All right. So my score from the head is 21-20 Packers. So then you can go with your prediction from the heart.
24-17 Packers.
Okay, I'm with that. Bryant's score is pretty close to yours. Packers 24, Rams 14. So give me Tyler's score from the heart.
23-20 Packers.
Man, he really went crazy this week.
My
score from the heart is 23-17 Green Bay. Just holding them to one less field goal, probably a turnover. We kick a couple field goals, but yeah, 23-17 sounds about right. So now we'll get into some Simon Says. Why don't you give me one of Tyler's? I'll do one of Bryant's and one of mine. So let's start with
Tyler. Didn't write any.
He didn't write any?
No.
At all?
No.
Okay. So I guess it'll just be myself and Bryant. So I will read Bryant. We'll just do offense first, okay?
All right.
The Rams have given up 4 touchdowns and nearly 500 yards to tight ends on the year. Musgrave will go for 80+, including a touchdown of 30+ yards.
Hit him in the seam. I'm in for it. Get that seam touchdown. Cover 2.
Dude, you're gonna love this. You might laugh before you answer. Packers score on their first possession of the game.
Fuck.
I knew you would laugh. I knew it.
Fuck.
I knew it.
Please. I'll just leave it at that.
We'll just leave it at that. All right. All right. So Bryant says Valentine gets a pick. Valentine, sorry. Valentine.
Yeah, you're good.
Don't need possession if we return the kickoff. Hey, you're not wrong. We'll
I'll
probably just get to
take
the
that.
20-yard line and call it a day. Valentine gets a pick six to pick up where Rasul left off. Rasul had an int against the Rams last year. I believe he's had an interception against the Rams last 2 years, if I'm not incorrect on that. But what do you say about that? Valentine gets a pick six.
Probably not.
Probably not. He's probably going to get cooked by Cooper Kupp.
Yeah. Someone's taking an L from one of those receivers.
Somebody's got to, dude. They're too damn good.
I think he only had one interception in his whole college career, too.
Like, this is not like us, like, talking shit on the Packers, but, like, giving respect to the Rams' good receivers.
Yeah.
Like, Nakua is like an NFL wide receiver.
Yeah.
And obviously, we know what Cooper Kupp is, man. The guy's a Super Bowl MVP. So mine is Gary has 2.5 sacks and a forced fumble.
I'm for it. Bring out the Bane.
Bring out the Bane. All right. Well, that is everything from this episode.
Packers score more than 30.
No way in hell.
Come on, dog.
I'm sorry. We're gonna probably score 6 points in the first half. I see us getting 2 field goals in the first half. I'm being serious. I see the Packers getting 2 field goals in the first half. This game will probably be tied, or we'll be losing by like 1 point, like 7-6 at half. This game's gonna be ugly as shit. And then all of a sudden we're gonna like score like late in the third quarter. Everybody's gonna be going fucking berserk. Love's gonna make like a crazy throw or something. This game's honestly like gonna be like 7. Like Bryant might be right. It might be 17-6.
I just want this offense to turn it around so bad.
I would love nothing more than Love to just freaking cook for 4 quarters, throw like 3 touchdowns. Like he's making some off-platform throws, making some on-time throws from 3-step drops. Like I would love nothing more than that. But am I expecting that? No.
That's why it was a bold prediction.
I do think that the Packers can win this game. This is a very winnable game. But as you've heard the last 3 weeks, I've been wrong before.
I've picked the Packers in every game but the Vikings game this year because they're all winnable games.
They should have.
The only one that I would say didn't end up being winnable was the Lions game where they just kicked the crap out of us.
Yep, they kicked the crap out of us. That final score was not even close.
Yeah, it wasn't indicative of how the game went. At all.
They beat the
hell out of us. Yeah.
Yeah, they're definitely some winnable games. But when we had our primer, that was one thing that I brought up is I wanted us to be put in situations like this where we have to figure it out. And obviously they're learning a lot. It'd be nice if they could be successful in a couple of them because that would definitely change people's perception. So if we get into a late game situation and Jordan Love, and to be honest, he was driving in the Denver game before the false start, but we already talked about that, or the holding. But either way, we're moving forward, right? So I just want to say thank you to anybody who stuck around for this shit show that I was hosting. Simon,
show, dude.
Simon, you did an amazing job. Bryant had some great notes. Tyler obviously had some great notes. Hopefully Tyler is at home sleeping, feeling good after that Bucs win. Hopefully he feels better. Hopefully, we know that Bryant made it to Appleton, so hopefully he has a great time at the game.
Is he going to see you guys at all?
I don't know. I'm busy tomorrow. I'm going with my family tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I don't know how long, if he's leaving right after the game. I'll have to hit him up and see if we can meet for lunch.
At least grab a burger or some shit.
Yeah, like after the game, like, hey, I'll come to Green Bay and I'll come hang out with you after the game.
Yeah.
We can go to like Parker John's or something, my buddy.
Yeah.
But yeah. So thank you everybody who stuck around. Go Packers! Obviously a nice Bucs win. But yeah, we're gonna take off. See y'all later. Go Packers.
Bye.